Hey, happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Greta asked to do a video. The kids have been driving me a little bit bonkers wanting some muffins. And Greta said, let's do a video. So we are doing an impromptu video here of some muffins. So I am going totally off the cuff here and completely genuine. I've actually never done this recipe, and that's how we roll often in our house. The recipe is coming from a blogger, and the blog is called cookieandcake.com. And all the recipes that I've ever done from this blog have always turned out. So I'm just trusting that it's going to be amazing, as they always are. This is actually the same blog that I got Oliver's birthday cake from. If you saw that back at the beginning of March, I made a Oreo cookie and Oreo cookie cake. And so it's actually the exact same blogger that I got that recipe from. So here I am popping in, Greta and we're gonna make some carrot muffins. We have some carrots still in stock. I actually have a grocery pickup tonight. So it worked out perfectly to do a carrot muffins, okay? So I haven't done the recipe before, so I do have the actual recipe in front of me here on my laptop. So when you see me looking ahead, that is what I am looking at. So first and foremost, I'm actually going to use the brownie pan instead of the muffin tin. Just for kicks, right? Something different. And I'm just going to, do you want to do it? Sure. Greta's going to spray it. Just make sure you get all around. I find with our muffin tin, I don't have to spray it ever. Does it need more? There you go. This guy though, I do spray it. I don't know why, I probably don't need to, but I do it for just in case. This does have more healthy ingredients, so it's a little bit less fat. And so, we want to make sure we go all the way around it. Oh, hold on. Okay. That's all right, let me do it. You just have to move it around a bit more, okay? Instead of being right on top of it. Okay, maybe pull up your sleeve, sweetie. So as a heads up, we have washed our hands. We are clean and safe. That is one of the first things that you should do when you're cooking. And really at this time, we are all washing our hands more than normal. I'm gonna actually just move this. Now, because this is a healthier recipe, I tend to find that when we cook healthier, it does tend to, okay, we're gonna go and wash your hands again because you just touched your hair, honeybee. I do find when you're cooking healthier, it tends to have more and more ingredients in it. So you can see I've got kind of a ton out here. So first and foremost, a little tip. If you're making any kind of baked goods and they need to be sifted, this is a really simple, easy trick. There's a little thing, there's a towel over there if you want to dry them sweets. Take your bowl and take a colander and set them on top of each other, and then dump all of your dry ingredients on top of the colander, okay? So that's a really easy way of getting them sifted together. So it calls for 1 3/4 cup. So I'm gonna get you to do this. So pick up the green thing. So in all of my measuring things, I have these green scoops, or they're different colors, but it just helps to be able to pick up and scoop. And that way when you're making things that are baked goods, it came with it. Yep, toss it on top. And then you're gonna take your leveler. Yep, just drop that in. I'll level it, okay, sweetie? Right, okay, you level it. Just make sure it goes right across. Yep, awesome. Now dump it into here. Oh, okay, dump it into here. We never said baking with kids was clean. Thank you, right here. So that's 1 cup. Now we need 3/4 of a cup. Hold on one sec. We're gonna leave it all in there first, okay? We're gonna dump everything in there on top, and then we're gonna sift it. Yep. So use the green and scoop it on top. I appreciate your patience. I find when you cook with kids, it does take a little bit longer, but that's where all the memories are made, right?
Yep.
There you go. So now dump it in there. Perfect. Okay. No, we'll leave the leveler there. We'll put the lid on it. Okay. We'll get this out of the way. Okay, and so some of the other dry ingredients, and I will put the actual link for the recipe in here as well. So, and I'll just do it afterwards. So baking powder, okay, we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So this is 1.5. So that's a take, hold on. We need a teaspoon. I'll set this over here, sweetie. Okay, so you're just gonna scoop it.
Smells good.
It smells good. Oh, hold on. We don't want a big chunk of it. We just want it to be level. So if you want, you can use, yep. You don't want to pack it in, just lift it up like this, watch. Lift. And then, oh, yep, and then you can level it off. And dump it. Dump it on top. Awesome. Now we're gonna do the next thing. Okay, we're gonna do a teaspoon of cinnamon, so we need that still. Can you do the cinnamon? Now with cinnamon, we like cinnamon, so if we get a little bit more than the actual, no, we're actually gonna stick this into it and pull it up that way.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's the nice thing about these. These actually fit into all of your stuff. We don't want it maybe heaping quite that much. Yeah, perfect. Dump. Okay, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, it's really helpful, I have to say, when you have a basic pantry. 1/2 teaspoon. Is it 1/2? Read your ingredients or your measuring. Switch. There you go. 1/2. It's really easy when you have them available in containers. And so I was actually asked this last night by one of the moms actually that the kids go to school with. She said, how do you know what to have? And I have shared in the past video that I did for a friend of mine's group of what we keep in the house as far as staples go. And when you have a very basic amount of staples and they all have a spot in your kitchen, then whipping together a set of muffins or whatever you want is a lot easier than having to remember, oh, I don't have baking powder, oh, I don't have baking soda, something like that. It just makes it easier. It's the organization side of a kitchen that just makes it so much better. And I find I'm more apt to cook and to bake when I know I have everything and when I know where everything is. No, this is salt. So we need 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Remember the time I did that?
Oh yeah, that was a funny story. Okay. Perfect. And now we're gonna add the same amount of ground ginger. So same way that you did the cinnamon, yep, stick it in. Yep, we're gonna ginger's a strong ingredient, so we don't wanna have more than what's necessary. You wanna smell it? How do we smell? Right? That's my science background of wafting, right? And then we need some nutmeg, which is 1/4 teaspoon. Switch, there you go. Nutmeg. There we go. Drop her in. And this is the magic part. You ready? Okay, so Greta's gonna be our sifter. Okay, so you stand there and just lightly, we're not gonna lift it all the way up, we're just gonna just lift it, not all the way up, keep it in there and then just kind of shake it. Yep, so we're gonna keep that over here. So you wanna keep it over the bowl and go like that. Like I said, it's not always clean. Okay, keep going. Now I do find with whole wheat flour, you're gonna end up with your bran at the top. So I like to just sift it like that, and then you get all that extra stuff. I actually still do that because it's whole wheat. We wanna have that extra stuff in there.
Oh, it's so messy.
It is messy when you bake with kids. So yes, there is a bunch of stuff over here, but that's okay.
It's even cheap.
We have a vacuum. We're good. Okay? So we've done our dry. Now we need to do our wet ingredients. Okay, so stay there. Maybe not a good idea to wear black pants, eh? Okay, so I'm going to get the carrots prepped. So super easy. Normally if Molly was in here, she'd hear this and she would be like starting to dance around. But she's actually outside right now with the boys and Sean. So we have a little bit of alone time from her. Okay, so we're just gonna grate them. And the recipe calls for 2 cups of peeled grated. You know what, maybe not for this one, okay? Do you really want to? Okay, you can do the last one. Okay. you're right-handed, put that in the right hand. Oh, put the tip of it down. So maybe go on your knees. Okay. Yeah. You all right? And lift it up, and then go back and forth. And you just have to turn the carrot as you go along. If you're not comfortable going back and forth, you can just do that way too. But our peeler can go back and forth to make it faster. So you want to lift it up. Just protect. Yep. There you go. A little bit harder. You can push. You can push. Like push harder. Okay. Now flip the carrot over.
Wait.
Oh, okay. You're good. Flip it over. And do the other side. Okay.
We're doing the tops of it first.
Yeah, so we'll just cut the top off actually. That can be a treat for Molly afterwards. Okay? So if you hold it this way, I think you're being just a little too gentle. You don't have to be gentle. Okay? So you can push it down. Push it down. Yep, there you go. Push a little bit harder. Turn it this way. That's why. There you go. Yep. Okay. We're good. So we're gonna, yeah, you've got it all. Okay, so I'm gonna take care of the knife. So when you're cooking with kids, you want to make sure that they know how to hold a knife and they want to protect their hand. Okay, so you want to actually hold your knife like this. Yep. And with kids, I tend to prefer to have them cut over top like that, or we use what's called the claw grip. So you have smaller hands than me. So you're going to take the knife in your right hand. No, pinch it. No, hold on. Pinch up at the top. You have more control. You want to stay close to the, yep. There we go. So push straight down. Yep. Now flip it around. Do the same. Awesome. Do the others. These are going to be Molly's treats. Perfect. Last one. Oh, maybe don't jab it because that always gives you an opportunity to maybe hurt something. So no, don't start up high. You want to start up where it is. Perfect. Okay, so kids can use real knives. You just have to show them how. So now I'm going to grate it. I'm going to be the one to grate it just because this grater is very, very sharp. Take my grater and I'm just going to grate. Okay? Is that okay? There is a food holder attachment, but like I said, we got Molly. She ends up taking the ends of our carrots and celery and everything else that we're chopping.
But not grapes or...
No, not grapes, not onions, right? They're not safe for dogs. Okay, so I end up with a little tip. Now what we're going to do, while I'm grating, you can chop. This is the loud part of the video. There we are. So we've got half a cup, of walnuts. And I'm putting them into the food chopper. And you just put them on there and bang away. Go hard. You can actually, this is where you can lift. There you go. So hold it with one hand. Hold the keeper with one hand and move forward. Get your body in there. It doesn't matter if you step in the flour. I'm cool with that. There you go. Okay. So chop it hard. But you can lift your hand up. Watch. There you go. Yeah, do that. Like that. Use the bottom part of your hand. Okay. Are they chopped? So a little tip, when you're reading a recipe, and if it calls for something to be, if it'll say like half a cup of walnuts chopped, that means you could. If it calls for like half a cup of walnuts and then it has a comma chopped, it means you measure half a cup of walnuts and then you chop it. If it's the flip, I think we're done. If it's the flip and it says half a cup of chopped walnuts, then you're actually going to want to chop them and then measure them. Okay? So something that's chopped versus not chopped means you're going to have a lot more of the chopped from a volume perspective than, no, we're going to leave it right there. Yep, we're going to leave it right there. It's okay. We're going to leave it. Okay, so just leave them right like that. Okay? So I've got my carrots all cut up.
I want to wash my hands too.
Okay, you go wash your hands. I'm going to take the walnuts. Okay, and then it calls to actually have a tablespoon of flour put in Actually, no, the walnuts are not that. We're dumping the walnuts with the carrots. We're taking the raisins. I know I don't have a full half a cup of raisins. I know that, so I'm just gonna dump the rest of the whole container in there.
Yeah, because we're slow.
Okay, and it calls to take a whole tablespoon of flour.
Not doing it.
Okay, so you put that into the bowl. Right there. It's a good thing I haven't cleaned the kitchen yet.
Yeah, good thing, because that.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a little tip when you're doing things like if you have like blueberries or raisins and stuff like that in a recipe, it helps to coat them in flour so that when they go into the actual mix all together, they don't sink to the bottom. The flour allows them to just stay midway point within the actual baked ingredient. Yep. Stir it around. Okay. Now we're gonna melt some coconut oil. So I already pre-measured 1/3 of a cup. Oops. So I'm just gonna melt it in the microwave. So while that's melting, it also calls. We're just mixing all of the wet ingredients together. Okay, so we're gonna first. So I put the walnuts and the carrots in here. Dump the raisins in there, Sweet Pea. Yeah. Dump them in. Okay, thank you. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add basically the binding ingredients and a little bit of the sweetness. So it calls for oil and maple syrup. The oil's melting, and some maple syrup or honey. I grabbed out the honey, and it calls for 1/2 cup. So I'm gonna use the Easy Read measure all, or not Easy Read, the measure all cup. Bring it to 1/2 cup. Well, let me just check. Yeah, that's done. Maybe not. Okay, so do you want to squeeze that to the top?
Okay.
Yep, squirt it all into there in the top. That's Molly's treats. Yep, keep squeezing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then what we're going to do is we're going to combine.
Good honey.
Yeah, we're going to use this one though. The special honey is for special things. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. Just a little bit.
Adds all the good stuff.
Okay, that's probably good. Typically, okay, we're going to let go. Typically, in our house, if a recipe calls for a certain amount of sugar, I usually cut back on that. I don't typically add as much sugar, just because we don't need it all. Yep, tip quick, quick, and then plunge it. Yep, keep it over top. Push.
Can you hold it?
Here, I'll hold it. No, we're gonna go like that. There we go. Okay, it also calls for some Greek yogurt. I don't have Greek yogurt, but I have plain yogurt.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that I made last week, I think it was. And I made them all in the quick cooker.
Last one didn't turn out.
Yeah, the first time I did it, it didn't turn out because I didn't have a decent enough starter.
And it smelled really, really good.
It smelled really good, yeah, but it didn't thicken, right? Ready?
Yeah, and it spilled all over the place.
Oh, yeah. She's telling all the secrets of what happens in our kitchen. You gotta love it, right? Okay. So this oil is actually it's a little bit hot right now because I took it out of the microwave. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add just a little bit. Do you wanna whisk it in? And we're gonna add it slowly so that, not that it's tempering it, but that it will allow it to not solidify. I'm going to do this. Will you stir, please? Okay, stir, 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 stir. Stir, stir, stir. I'm actually gonna whisk.
Whisk her better.
Okay, yeah, we can whisk it better, right? Make sure it really gets combined. Yep. Just cut that off. There we go. Ready? So unless it's actually actually fractionated coconut oil, it will solidify. So you want to just do this a little bit quickly and work fast from this point on. Yep, keep whisking. You want all those ingredients to combine. Okay, you keep whisking. Now I'm out of eggs. And so, no, I am out of eggs. Like actual eggs, so we're gonna use an egg replacer, or you can do a flax egg. No, there's not, sweet pea. We use them. They're all gone. I have a grocery pickup tonight, so we're out. So the egg replacer, I'm trying to remember, it's been a while. To replace one egg, you use 1 teaspoon of the replacer with 2 tablespoons of water. So I need 2 eggs, so that means I need 2 teaspoons. 1. So I keep this actually in the house for times like these if I'm out of eggs and I want to bake, but also because my brother and sister-in-law are vegan, and so this is a vegan replacement for eggs. So if I know we're getting together with them and they're and I'm baking, then I use that instead. So I call it. Yep. Uncle Chad and Aunt Bevan. 2, 3.
I know that.
4. Okay.
That's so liquid.
Yep, it's super wet. So are we good? We ready to go?
No.
No?
I like to eat.
Okay.
Already.
So now we're gonna combine it all together. Pour the wet ingredients into the dry with a big spoon until just combined.
No.
Yep. So these are actually,
They're both dry.
yeah, exactly. So we're gonna, hold on. We're gonna actually do, this is the flour mixture. And we're gonna combine this together, but I'm not gonna put the whisk in. See how it's solidifying? I have to go from here on, okay, sweets? Because it's starting to solidify from the coconut oil. You can use another kind of oil. I bet you could probably use applesauce. No, because it's gonna stick to it. That's why I have the scraper out.
What's the big one?
The white one right here. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna scrape it all out, but it's starting to harden. You can mix this. So just turn around and get it wet, like that. Keep going. While my assistant here is doing the work, I'll move everything over to here. You're doing an awesome job, Jake. Good job. Mix.
Doesn't look good, but it is.
Why doesn't it look good? Don't know. Okay. So we don't want to overmix this. Can I slide it for a second? Can I slide it for a second? Okay, we're good. We're sliding it over. I'm gonna go like this. Oh, it smells so good. Actually, with the nutmeg and the ginger and the cinnamon, it's like making me think of the fall, because I think of these as fall smells. So you just want to like scoop around and blend. You don't want to necessarily like hardcore mix it, because it will make it oh, hold on. We still, it'll make it dry. So this is where I'm gonna take over a little bit, okay? Because you don't want to over mix this, otherwise when you blend it too much, you'll end up getting more and more dry. I want to just go through one last time. Hold on. And make sure that I've put all the ingredients in. I often forget ingredients. Okay, so we're gonna fold. Okay, we're just gonna fold in those extra things. Just gonna go around
I know how to do that.
and around. Yeah. So this is where it's helpful to have a nice sturdy scraper, because this is a good size batter, or a good weighted batter. Go like that. Okay, it's all wet now. Grab that out. No. The stand mixer?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I'm taking a large scoop. Yep. It's hard. Hold on. This is a mess. Hold on.
Do that.
Slide it over to food. Oops. while she's doing the work. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna check and see if there's any questions here. Because I can't read it from there. Do you want me to turn this around? There you go. Okay. You're doing an awesome job. And the nice thing with using scoops like this is that everything becomes evenly baked because it's the exact same amount in everything. Let me see right now. Oh,
Flip it over.
let me see if there's any comments. Oh, Mrs. Bowman says, hi, Greta. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is the oven has been preheated to 425 degrees, and the recipe calls for this to go in for, I just lost the recipe. I believe it was 13 minutes. Yeah. You're supposed to actually sprinkle them with turbinado sugar, which is a coarser sugar at the top. I don't have any of that, and I don't think we need that. So they're gonna go into the oven for, like I said, 13 minutes at 425 degrees. I am gonna test them to just make sure that they are baked. So that's just taking do another batch. That's taking a cake tester, and you just insert it in, and if anything comes out on the top of it, I'm just gonna show you this, then we know that it's not cooked. So here you go. There's a little cake tester and releaser. So you just insert this end in, and then if stuff comes on top of it, then it's not ready. It needs to go back in. But if you put it in and it comes out clean, then you're good. And then I love this side of it because then I just go around the edge of the brownie pan, and it just all pops out. No, we don't. So we'll just do a smaller batch. And awesome. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'll take some pictures of them when they are all done, and I'll share the link so that you can make them yourself. Ciao. Hey, and I'm back. So while the muffins were baking, I just went over to the sink and I washed up all the dishes. So it doesn't have to take a ton of time to cook and bake, I should say. So check it out, here they are. So I wish you could smell this because our house smells amazing right now. So they popped up. I actually put them in for 14 minutes, but they're perfect. So here's the example. You take your cake tester and releaser tool, pop it in, and if it comes out clean, they're done. So you just take this end and go all around them. Oops. And they just pop out. So like I said, because I find healthier recipes don't have as much fat in them. I haven't even let these guys cool off at all, to be honest. So I'm probably just going to do this around them all. And then let them cool a little bit more, probably like 5 minutes. And then I'll pop them all out and put them onto the cooling rack, I should say. Okay, so just go all the way around each one of them. They're not sticking to, I mean, you can see how they've already pulled around away from the sides, but I just like to go around them all. But I can feel like they're still soft on the inside, so I think if I lifted them up right now, they would crumble a bit. So I want them to cool down a bit first, like that. Now the other thing I meant to mention, when we do muffins, I will follow a basic recipe, but then I add in a ton of stuff, which with this one I didn't. But often I'll add in chia seeds and hemp hearts and flaxseed. And if the recipe calls for all-purpose flour, most of the time I'll do half all-purpose, half whole wheat. So now I'm just gonna let them cool down. But that's how I substitute in like a healthier versions or make healthier versions from recipes that are already there. So I sub in some whole wheat flour for normal flour. I will throw in a lot of ground flax. So instead of actual flax seed, I put in the ground version just because I find it mixes well. If I want to put in flaxseed's great for your omegas, but also for adding bulk to your bulk fiber to your food. And so that's just some quick substitutions that I'll do. Oftentimes, if it calls for sugar, like I had said earlier, I usually will cut that version by at least a third because you just don't need that much sugar in your food. Yeah, so I hope that's helpful. I'll take some pictures and I'll share them as well. And let me know if you try these recipes. So I'll talk to you later. Ciao.